What's good, superstars? Back with another video today, going through the living out of my brokerage account portfolio. Going to let you guys know the updates. I've made a little bit of changes to the way my entire system works. I'm gonna have to do a flow chart or something once I come up with a final. Because right now I'm just like doing a bunch of tests and iterations to see what works, what doesn't work. It's different doing this type of account, and I've said this in other videos. It's different doing this type of an account when you're first starting out versus when you already have a well-established portfolio with a lot of assets, with ebbs and flows that are a little bit larger, easier to cover some of your costs when you're putting your paycheck in and taking your paycheck out essentially over the course of a month. When you put money in and take money out, if nothing happens, you're basically eroding your equity, right? Your equity is going more to margin because you're going to be putting the money in, investing it, but then you're going to be pulling all that money out. But because it's invested, now that money that you have in is off the margin, and you're taking the money out to use it for your expenses. So if you don't have growth, if you don't have distributions, you don't have something to make up the difference, the spread, if you're not cash flow positive, if you're doing one-to-one, it's a little bit difficult. So you need to have, I think, a little bit of a spread off the bat. You're going to see I've incorporated some bills already. I'm not doing everything yet, but I've incorporated some bills to show you guys a little bit of how it's going to work. Anyways, I want to quickly go over the breakdown of portfolio. Again, I'm not putting the numbers for what I own for each one. I don't want to influence or make anybody buy anything I have here, but I own a ton of stocks. I buy, I'm not selling. Maybe down the line I might decide to consolidate, but for now I'm just buying and holding. I'm considering everything I buy an asset that does something for me, either grows and opens up margin for me or returns me distributions, dividends that I can reinvest and maybe help grow or contribute to the portfolio in one way or another. But eventually the goal is to obviously live off the distributions. So if I can grow the distributions from themselves, in the meantime, why not, right? So my growth portfolios consist of 3 different types: single stocks, which you can see up here. We've got Apple, Amazon, Berkshire, Costco, Google, Microsoft, and Nvidia. I feel like these are pretty strong companies, but you guys can pick and choose whatever you want for your portfolios. This is what I did for mine. When it comes to indexes, I have a bunch of different ones. Anything in red is Canadian, anything in black is American. I do have both Canadian and US dollars now. I've made sure that my accounts are all set up that way, so I can buy into either one. A lot of repetition in here, but at the same time, testing things out. Like I said, maybe I fall in love with one of these and it becomes a larger percentage. For now, I'm doing the diversify, and not one of these that goes down to 0 can kill me. If a bunch of them do, okay, that's a different story, but I think you have bigger problems if some of these indexes are going to 0. Like we've got a bunch, some of them are like the NASDAQ, and you see the Qs in there, the SPY, which is the SPY, the SPYG, this is the S&P 500, obviously. And then these are some international exposures, the VXMs in Canada, give me some international exposure. A bunch of different ones here. This is technological, TVGT, UPRO, and TQQQ. So I've been buying those kind of as insurance plays when the market was dipping over the last couple of weeks. I went a little bit heavier into those ones with my buys, just because recovery a third of the way faster. You don't need to go up a third of the way to get back to where we were. Helps me fill the gap, right? And then I have commodities. This is another category. I really want to buy some gold, some silver. Actually even bought some platinum exposure. And IBIT is my Bitcoin exposure. That's the Bitcoin ETF. So that's the one I have in there for growth. Obviously right now not growing, but the hope is long term it's going to grow. And it's a very small portion of my portfolio right now. Income. So income, this is where things are getting even crazier. Look how many stocks I got. Anyways, single stock income providers. These ones are typically your higher yielders. Also riskier, also a little bit more NAV erosion in those guys. You got Amazon, you got AMD, Google, Robinhood, Palantir. Tried to do some that had some good charting, but a lot of them are yield gainers there. Then we got some Canadian indexes. You got some American indexes. I'm starting to kind of transition into trying to get a little bit of a foundation, a safer foundation, even though the income will be a little bit less, because right now I don't need the income up front. I don't need to be spending that income. I don't need the income to really help me generate if I can grow and start using the margin. So that's what we've been doing right now, and I've been kind of changing my focus into a little bit more of the stable ETF for this section of my portfolio, which is percentage based. I'll show you that in a minute. Blocks, BTCI, CEPI. So Bitcoin, gold exposure, GLDYI, GLD, actually been a really good fund for me. MST, very little I have. That's a Canadian strategy. Then you got Misty, XBTC, XBTY. Those are basically the income funds. So that is my portfolio currently. What I own of each, maybe one day, like I said, we'll get to it. But what I am going to show you for the first time is the actual margin TFSA account. It's not just the screened one for YouTube. This is the actual. I did change the income that it shows that I make, because I'm not going to show that, but that doesn't really matter because we're not inputting our whole paycheck yet, so it doesn't matter. Put 8,000 up here for now, and then we have 7%. This is my margin interest, but this is in Canadian. Now that I have the multiple accounts, I do get American margin when I'm converting to buy American stock. So a little bit higher of an interest rate there. I got to figure out how I'm going to show that off. Might have to do 2 different columns. I don't know what I'm going to do there. This is just for projections anyway, so I might just take the American percentage because most of my portfolio is in US. So we might have to change that. It might be like a 7% or moving forward. But that just affects my percentages. Blended yield right now, it's saying 29%. This is pulled from my dividend calendar. So a little bit less, but we're going to see what happens there. Inflation, I'm using 4% still. And then expenses, I don't know why it says 10,000. Shouldn't. I think this is all carryover from that other one. And this is cash that I have on the side just so that I can make sure all my numbers jive with what's actually in my account. So first 2 months went by. You guys have seen this. I've copied these numbers over. We had $22 in interest. We had 52% equity. The portfolio has done pretty well. It's done pretty well. I have invested $2,500 this month, but you can see huge drop off from last month. I wanted to try something, $2,000 contribution, and then I wanted to put $500 from my paycheck in to cover hydro, water, gas, and hot water tank. So that's that. I don't know why the blended yield here says 29%, and then here it's my actual yield is 30%. So I think this is like a calculation based off of the website distributions, and then this is like actual dividends so far, which we still have more coming obviously this whole week until the end of the week. So Friday I have a bunch of distributions coming in. I think we're gonna end up around like the same distributions as last month, but we'll see. But overall, the portfolio, I added in 2,500 and we're at $2,000 above. So basically down 500 bucks, but it's been a pullback, and the TFSA funds for the high income have not done well. They have not fared well. So to only be down 500 bucks at the end of this and still have 54% equity, I'm pretty happy. Waste of an insurance play here. I only had $68 insurance play. I bought a budget spreadsheet for $31. These are my utilities. Where'd it go? So the water bill came this time. We have our water and electricity together every other month. I have 2 kids. They take a lot of baths. Don't judge me. $300 for the water/electricity bill. Enbridge is the gas company. 40 bucks, not bad. And then hot water tank is coming. It's gonna be another $50, which I'm gonna have to throw under expenses. So it's close to the 500. So we're not really gonna get that much of a gap up, but again, that 30 bucks payment schedule and insurance are in there as well, which is not really part of the float. That was just expenses that I want to see if I can cover with the equity, and that is happening. So 54.61, I'm gonna have to pull that out. I might even pull out, I bought a new mic. If you guys can't tell, if you've been watching for a while, I might pull that from here too if the equity is suitable and the markets are doing okay. I might pull that from here as well to see what happens. But anyways, I've re-jived this spreadsheet. I've made it so that things pull from different areas. I'll explain in a second. So these are pulling from my portfolio tab, my real portfolio that shows you guys the total amounts invested into each account. I have changed my distribution. Now, anything that I put in, so this 2,500 I put in, 60% going into the growth portfolio, 40% going into the high yield portfolio for now. Might be changing that again. We'll see how things play out, but I'm thinking about focusing a little bit more on growth right now, just to help with the equity and the margin percentage there. So that's what we're doing. Margin debt 8,000, so we went up a little bit here. So far it's going to go up a little bit more once I take out that final bill for the hot water tank, and if we do take out the microphone, we'll be adding it to here. So basically this is adding all the expenses onto here. So then this is our contribution. I put in 2,500 bucks, 2,000 and then 500, which was my float. Additional margin invested. So that basically will mean, like, if I see like our margin goes up to 60%, I want to use some of that invested in growth, I will add a number here, and then that will increase whatever the distribution is. So a 60 and 40 of that will go into each, right? Like we'll be investing it in our same percentages. And then the expenses are there, everything's there. So the dividends, the other thing that I'm doing now, the dividends, I'm reinvesting them into the high yield. So instead of having the dividends pay down the margin, because I do have it in two separate accounts, the dividends come in the TFSA. I don't want to pull them out of the TFSA, put them into the margin account to pay down the margin, because I'm just adding to, it's like doing the reverse. Instead of taking away, I'm adding. So the percentage is basically the same. And instead of doing that, because it's already in the TFSA, might as well invest it. So now I've done that. So I've added that into here. You can see D plus E. Oh, it's not, sorry, not that one, this one here. It's showing you plus M10, which would be the dividends being 100% invested. I'm not doing a percentage based thing. So basically that is that. This here was going to be if my TFSA was covering all of the distributions, but it's not happening. So we'll get into that in another video. But anyways, whenever we get to maybe 55-60%, that's when we'll have to do a decision if we're going to be investing more of our equity into the accounts. It is risky keeping it around 50% equity, but right now I'm a little bit comfortable doing that because of the funds that I do have. And especially since I'm starting to target growth, and growth, the biggest percentage is my index funds. We'll see as the account builds and how quickly it builds and how quickly things are doing it. But let me know, what would you do? Should I increase my equity, my growth portion to maybe 70-30, since I'm not immediately using the high yield, or should I keep the high yield just because it's nice to get a little bit of distributions that can help snowball that account there? I think that's why I'm keeping it around 60-40. 50-50, I want a little bit of more growth right now. The equity is more important to me right now because I'm trying to be able to get enough space to be able to float as much of my paycheck as possible. So right now we're just doing utilities. Maybe next month we'll float another bill. We'll see what happens. But guys, hopefully you enjoyed this content. If you did, please smash the thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe button. It helps me keep motivated, helps me keep wanting to post more. Somebody was asking me, when's the next daily snowball video? Next week. I'm going to film it probably Tuesday, maybe go out Wednesday. Because I want to show you guys 2 months of daily investing distribution. So you guys let me know what you think. And if you want to check that series out, like I said, we got a whole playlist. You got a playlist for this series. You got a playlist for my hedge series. Doing a lot of different case studies, a lot of fun, and enjoying sharing with you guys as much as I can. Guys, we'll see you in the next one. I love you. Bye.